Welcome to PR Learning Lab. My name is Belide Aakash, and in the previous tutorials you might have learnt all about the tools available in Photoshop. If you haven't checked out the previous tutorials, you can find the link in the description below. Before we get started, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications. So let's get started. You might have watched me using the layers panel available here in some of the tutorials which were taking place before. So what is layers or what are layers? Layers are nothing but like sheets of papers which are kept one upon each other. When a pile of papers are stacked together, you can only look at the paper on the top but not the ones at the bottom when you view from above. Here in layers panel, you can find the images you have important shapes you draw, text you add to your project. You can reorder them according to your wish. Here you can see I have already imported 4 images which are named 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I have already selected the move tool. So as you can see this image here which says 4 is on top of all the layers right here, and there are other layers behind this image 4. So in order to take this image back, what you have to do is select this layer. You can select a layer by just clicking on it like this. So I'm going to select this fourth layer and I'm going to just drag it down below the third layer. Now you can see that the third layer is on the top and that is above all the other 3 layers. Now suppose here you can see that the second layer is on top of the first layer, and as the size of the second image is almost equal to the first one, you cannot look at the first layer which I have placed. So in order to keep this first layer on the top, I'm going to just click it here and then drag it just like this. Now you can clearly see that the first layer is on the top and all the remaining layers are hidden. Suppose you want to just hide this layer but not delete it. You can just hide this layer, that is the any layer, just by clicking this eye icon. This icon indicates layer visibility, that is when you click this it gets hidden, and when you click this again it's visible again. So this way you will not be deleting a layer, but you will be hiding and unhiding the layer in order to look at the other layers available in our layers panel. Here in the layers panel you have many options available. Now I'll start by telling you what does opacity mean. Opacity, I guess you might have already know what does opacity mean. Opacity is nothing but the transparency of the layer. Suppose I want this layer to be more transparent. So I can do this by clicking here and then dragging this to the left side, and now you can see that it has become more transparent. Now you are able to see the layers which are beneath, that is behind this first layer, that is 342, and you can not only change the opacity by dragging this, but you can also change it by clicking here and setting it onto your own, that is here 10% or 30 or anything of your choice. Beside the opacity, you can find this. This is known as the blending mode. That is the types of blending modes available for the layers. And you can just try out different blending modes and see what it does. Now, for now, I'm going to just select normal. And then, as you have seen here, right here, a blue outline has been formed, that is I have selected this. Now if I just want to change, I need not click on this. I'm going to just click on my down arrow key on my keyboard, and you can see the blending modes changing on this layer, that is applied on this layer. It's just like effects that you use in Instagram and filters that you use in many social media and editing apps. You can play around with this and learn many blending modes, and you can choose it according to your wish. Above normal opacity here, you can find some other options available here. These are the filter options. That is, you can filter your layers by either pixels or adjustment layers or text or shape layers or smart object layers. Here you can see these symbols right here. These three images have three same symbol. This symbol means smart object, and here it doesn't have any symbol, so it is a pixel, that is normal. So when I click this, it filters only pixel layers and the other layers are not visible. Suppose I'm going to click on this. Now you can see only the smart object layers. So this is how you use this filter options available in the layers panel right here. Here you can see this option available, fill. As in this case this is an image, fill acts indirectly like the opacity available here, but fill actually means only the inside part. Suppose you have anything like some rectangle or any shape which has stroke as well as some fill, so the inside fill part can be changed using this option. Let me show you. Let me hide all these layers here, and then I'm going to just draw one rectangle right here. Let me choose this to be white, and then I'll create it like this right here. Now I'm going to draw another rectangle. Before that I'll select some other color. Sorry. Now I'll draw this. Now I'll select other color, that is this red color. Now I'll give stroke to this. I'll give black stroke and then increase the stroke size so that you can see it properly. Now I've selected this rectangle right here, and as you can see the fill is set to 100%. Now let me reduce this to 90%. You can't see much change, so let me reduce this to 50. So here as you can see, fill is going to reduce only the fill part which we have used for this rectangle, but not the stroke. So let me set this back to 100%, and let me change the opacity. Here as you can see, opacity reduces only the opacity, that is the transparency of both stroke as well as fill. It is unlike the option which is available here, which only reduces the fill option right here like this. And this is mainly useful for things such as you want to get outline but have no fill. That is, you want something. Let me show you something like this. I'll hide this and I'll keep this above, and then I'll reduce this fill like this. But you can also draw a normal layer without fill, that is normal rectangle without fill, and you will get the same options. But suppose I have taught you about text, that is the type tool available. So let me just use this type tool, and then I'll just draw this right here, and then I'll set this to around 60 or more than that. Yeah. Now I'll just choose some random font. I'll choose this. Actually, let me increase the size so that you can see it properly. Now I'm going to type hello there. Now as you can see here, let me change the color first. I'll change the color by going here. I hope you remember all these things which were taught in the previous tutorial. Now if I want to reduce this, that is the fill, I can just do this by doing this right here, or I can do this even by changing the opacity. But suppose you might have wondered that you want outline to your text, but you want the inner, that is the fill, to be transparent. You can do this by going here These are the layer style which I'll be teaching you properly in another tutorial. But for now, for an example, I'll just show you. Here you can choose some options available, bevel, emboss, stroke, and many more other options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give stroke to this text. Here you can see as the stroke is already inside. Let me set this to outside, and you can see this is too much. I'll just reduce this. I'll keep this 10, and then black seems to be fine. And here you can change the same blend modes available. Now I'll click OK. Now here you can see the fill is all at 100, so it's visible. Now let me just reduce this to 0. Now you can see that the text is there, right there, but only with the stroke, and there is no fill. So this is how you are going to do it. Sometimes you might want to sometimes you want sometimes you might want a layer to be locked at a certain position. That is, you don't want it to be moved. That is, sometimes I'll be selecting this layer right here, but it doesn't get selected. Like this, I'm going to select this, but by mistake I select this layer and then I try to move it, so it gets moved right here like this. So in order to just lock this, you can do this by going here and clicking lock, and I have locked this layer right now. So now you can move this image, I mean this layer, but you cannot move this one, this hello text. It can't even be selected. In the next tutorial, we'll be learning about this layer style and layer mask and adjustment layer, create new group, all of this right here. These are the things which are mainly very important in Photoshop, and you can do n number of tasks using these things. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and share this video, and also subscribe to our channel.